Good morning 9th class students. In previous class, lesson 5 in NS subject diversity in living organisms. In that I explained about variations in plants and variations in animals, and also I explained the need of classification in living organisms, and also I explained about different scientists who worked on to classify the different types of living organisms. First one is Charles Darwin. He wrote a book known as Origin of New Species. In that he explained natural selection is the process which helps to origin of new species. And also I explained about Charaka, Sushruta and Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus is the person who discovered binomial nomenclature. Every organism have two names. One is common name and another one is scientific name, that is genus and species. Now I will explain an important topic, LUCA. What do you mean by LUCA? LUCA means last universal common ancestor. LUCL means last universal common ancestors. If you will observe in previous class, we learned about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. No, prokaryotes means which does not have nucleus. Eukaryotes means which have nucleus. Examples of prokaryotes are bacteria. Examples of eukaryotes are other animals like human beings and different animals. No, according to this one, every living organism, either prokaryotes and eukaryotes, the common ancestor will be same. Either prokaryotes and eukaryotes, the common ancestor will be same. That is called LUCA. Last universal common ancestor. Last universal common ancestor. Now I will explain about Whittaker classification. Do you know Whittaker is a scientist who classified the whole living organisms or total living organisms into 5 kingdoms. That is Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, Kingdom Animalia. Now I will explain about Kingdom Monera. Do you know children? Monerians are very primitive microorganisms. So they are very smallest microorganisms, can be seen only with the help of microscope. If you will observe, Monerians are prokaryotes. Already we know that about prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means the organisms which does not have nucleus is called prokaryotes. Example, bacteria. If you will observe in bacteria, it is a prokaryote. They does not have nucleus. They have cell wall and they have plasma membrane and they can move with the help of flagella. Hair-like structure called flagella. And I explained about binary fission in 8th class. No? What is meant by binary fission? Splitting of organisms into 2 daughter organisms is known as binary fission. So they reproduce by binary fission. Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction. Splitting of organisms into 2 daughter organisms is known as binary fission. Bacteria can reproduce by binary fission. And locomotory organs. What are the locomotion? Locomotion means movement. What are the locomotory organs in Kingdom Monerans? They are the locomotory organs are flagella. Some organisms also have cilia. So flagella is a long hair-like structure which helpful for movement. Do you know some Monerans causes diseases, some useful to human beings. For example, if you take typhoid. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. And cholera is caused by Vibrio cholera. These are bacteria which causes diseases. But if you will observe, some bacteria also useful to us. For example, if you take Lactobacillus Bacteria, it is a bacteria which helpful to prepare curd. No, already you learnt in 8th class about Lactobacillus Bacteria. And if you will observe Rhizobium, it is also a bacteria which can found in root nodules of groundnut or leguminaceae plants. These bacteria helps to convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. So this is useful bacteria. Means some causes diseases, some useful to human beings. These are the characteristics of kingdom Monera. Examples: bacteria. They can reproduce by binary fission. Splitting of parent organism into two daughter organisms known as binary fission. Locomotory organs, movement organs are flagella or cilia. Some causes diseases like typhoid, cholera, TB, etc. Some useful to human beings and plants also. For example, if you will take Lactobacillus Bacteria and second one is Rhizobium, is bacteria which is useful to plants. They are prokaryotes. It is the fundamental character of monerans. They does not have any nucleus. They are very primitive microorganisms. This is about kingdom Monera. Now I will explain about kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista are eukaryotes. For example, if you will take amoeba, we know that amoeba. Already you learned in the 8th class. Amoeba have center nucleus and they can move with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. They are eukaryotes. If you will observe in Protista, we can find out some development compared to Monera. They are eukaryotes. They have nucleus and they can reproduce by binary fission, splitting of parent amoeba into two daughter amoeba. Parent euglena. This one is euglena. Euglena is a protozoa and amoeba is also a protozoa and they can reproduce by binary fission and absorbs nutrient from outside of the body. They get nutrient from outside of the body directly into the body. Locomotory organs. How they can move? Locomotory means movement. Which structures helpful for movement in amoeba? We know that finger-like projection is called pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means, pseudo means false, podia means feet. They have false feet. They appear when they want to move from one place to another place. They are called pseudopodia. If you will observe euglena, they have flagella. They have flagella. With the help of flagella, they can move from one place to another place. If you will take paramecium, this is called paramecium. If you will observe in paramecium, they can move with the help of cilia. So, what are the locomotory organs? Some have pseudopodia, some have flagella, some have cilia. These all are the structures which are helpful for locomotion in a Protista. Some trap solar energy. For example, if you will take euglena, euglena have chlorophyll in their body. Euglena have chlorophyll in their body. They helpful to trap solar energy. In the process of photosynthesis, food material will be prepared. So they are called autotrophs. Autotrophs means the organism which can prepare their own food material in the process of photosynthesis is called autotrophs. So euglena are the organisms which helpful to trap solar energy to prepare food material in the process of photosynthesis. So these are the characters of kingdom Protista. The first one, they are eukaryotes. They have nucleus in their body. They can reproduce by splitting of parent organism into two daughter organisms, that is known as binary fission. They absorb nutrient from outside of the body directly. They can move from one place to another place with the help of pseudopodia or flagella or cilia. So some trap solar energy to prepare its food in the process of photosynthesis. Do you know, children, some protozoans are, some Protista are useful to human beings, some are harmful to human beings. If you will observe Plasmodium, do you know about Plasmodium? You learnt in 8th class. Plasmodium is the protozoan which causes a disease called malaria. Based on this information, we concluded that some protozoans also causes diseases. Example, Plasmodia or Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica causes a disease called motions. So these are the characters of kingdom Protista. Now I will explain about kingdom Fungi. Fungi are, some are unicellular, some are multicellular. For example, if you will take bread mold, this is bread mold. Bread mold also called as rhizopus. For example, if you will take mushroom, Mushroom is also a fungi. Bread mold is also a fungi. They are unicellular. Some are unicellular, some are multicellular. For example, if you will take mushroom, it is a multicellular organism. And if you will take bread mold, it is unicellular organism. They are eukaryotes. They have nucleus in their body. They get nutrients from dead bodies. It is very important in kingdom fungi. Do you know fungi lives on dead bodies and decaying bodies? They live in dead and decaying organisms. What is the reason? They release some enzymes. They release some enzymes on dead bodies. They release some enzymes on dead bodies. These enzymes helpful to decompose the dead bodies or decaying matter, and these fungi get nutrients from dead bodies and supply some valuable nutrients to soil, soil to plants, again plants to soil. So fungi are also called as recyclers. Fungi are also called as recyclers. What do you mean by recyclers? They recycle the nutrients from dead bodies to soil, soil to plants, and plants to again soil. So they are called recycling, and they are also called as cleaning surface of the earth. Cleaning surface of the earth. What is the reason why they are called cleaning surface of the earth? Means they decaying organic matter. They decaying dead bodies. They decaying dead bodies by releasing, they decomposing dead bodies by releasing some enzymes on them, which helpful to clean the surface of the earth. So they are called cleaning surface of the earth. And they can reproduce by spores. They can reproduce by spores. Spores are microscopic structure. Microscopic structures which helpful to increase their population. For example, if you will take bread mold, we can find out a knob-like structure called sporangium, and a thin filament, a thread-like structure called filament, and this one is hyphae. Do you know sporangium is a knob-like structure, dot-like structure which contain microscopic spores. When the sporangium matured, the sporangium rupture and spores come outside, and when the spores reach to the appropriate place, like wet places. Do you know, children? Fungi lives in wet places. So each spore can develop into new fungi. This is a type of asexual reproduction in fungi. So this is about kingdom fungi. But what is the use of? Is fungi useful or harmful? Yes, some fungi are useful to us. For example, if you will take mushroom. Mushroom is edible fungi. Edible means eatable. We will eat mushroom as food material. Correct or not? We will take mushroom as food material. Why? Because it is eatable or edible fungi. But if you will take some fungi, for example, if you will take bread mold, rhizopus damage the bread. Or if you will take some, already you learnt in 8th class, penicillin. It is a antibiotic which produced from a fungus known as Penicillium notatum. Penicillium notatum. So some are useful, some are harmful. Some causes diseases to plants, some spoil the food material, some spoil the food material, some degrade the waste material. For example, if you will take some fungi lives on dead bodies and helpful for decomposition of dead bodies, so they are called cleaning surface of the earth. And some recycle the nutrients from soil to plants, plants to animals, and animals again to soil. So they recycle the nutrients from one place to another place. So these are the characters of fungi. Once again I repeat the characters of fungi. Some fungi are useful and some fungi are unicellular, some are multicellular organisms. So they are eukaryotes which have nucleus, and they get nutrients from dead bodies. They decompose the waste materials, and some nutrients will absorb by them, and some nutrients will supply to soil, soil to plants. And they can reproduce by spores. It is a type of asexual reproduction. They clean the surface of the earth, and this is called, that's why they are known as, fungi are known as cleaning surface of the earth. So these are the characteristics of fungi. So in this class we learnt about LUCA, last common universal ancestor. LUCA means either prokaryotes or eukaryotes developed from a single ancestor. And we learnt about kingdom Monera, and we learnt about kingdom Protista, and we learnt about kingdom fungi. In the next class, I will explain about kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Okay, thank you children.